Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha and Machin Leira. I'm standing here right next to Aron Kodesh, and it will be appropriate to speak about some of the halachas of Aron Kodesh. Right away, when you hear the words Aron Kodesh, you should know that the Gemara discusses a person who referred to the place where the Sefer Torah was, like a safe, a box, a cabinet. The Gemara says very harsh words against that person. When you're speaking about the place where the Sefer Torah is, you actually have to refer to it as Aron HaKodesh. And this is a Gemara in Shabbos, Daf Lamed Beis Amud Aleph. So it is a holy place because the Sefer Torah is in there. How holy is it? What significance is there in halacha? You could understand that just by the very fact that when you open the Sefer Aron Kodesh and you take out the Sefer Torah, listen to what psukim we say. We say, Vayehi ben Soya Aron. That means we compare the traveling of the Aron in the Kodesh Hakodesh to opening the Aron Kodesh. So the Aron Kodesh has tremendous kedusha, even though when you look in the Mishnayos, it didn't always have a setup like an Aron Kodesh like we have today, a permanent place up in the front. In the Mishnayos, in Maseches Megillah, they always refer to the Aron Kodesh as a teva, a box. The box was brought out whenever there was a drought. They davened outside, they would bring the box out, and over there it was a symbol of brokenheartedness. Look, we're schlepping the Sefer Torah out. But yet, now every shul has a permanent Aron Kodesh, holy place, and it's somehow an equivalent to the Aron in the Beis Hamikdash and the Kodesh HaKadoshim. And that's why we actually say, as mentioned before, Vayehi ben Soya Aron. So I saw a shaila discussing like this: do you need a paroiches in front of the Aron Kodesh? Isn't the Aron Kodesh it? And this is again connected. Many say that because in the Beis Hamikdash, in the Mishkan, there was a paroiches, so the paroiches lahavdu bein HaKodesh and HaKodesh HaKadoshim. So because a lot of our Aron Kodesh is compared to the Aron Kodesh and the Kodesh HaKadoshim, you have to have a paroiches in front of the Aron Kodesh. Now the question is, what happens if you have a beautiful Aron Kodesh made out of beautiful wood or beautiful gold and silver, whatever, and you say to yourself, if it's only for beauty, it would be much nicer if I have the Aron Kodesh with stained glass and gold and silver and look straight at the Aron Kodesh. So there's actually other reasons why that's brought, why you should do a paroiches. The Gemara, the Tosfos Masechta Megillah Daf Chavav, says that the paroiches is not only l'shem yoifi anoi, it's not only there to beautify the Aron Kodesh, because if it was only for beauty, sometimes the Aron Kodesh could look nicer than the cloth that's in front. So what's the significance of the Aron Kodesh? Like I mentioned before, because in the Mishkan it was that way. V'hivdila ha-paroiches lachem ben ha-kodesh and ben ha-kodesh kadoshim. The paroiches is sort of a note, a reminder. There is Kodesh, everything around here is Kodesh, and that's Kodesh HaKadoshim, sort of how it was in the Mishkan. And if so, even if you have a beautiful, beautiful Aron Kodesh, you have to have a paroiches in front of it. In Shailas Teshuvah Zera Emes, he brings another reason why you must have a paroiches. He says that we know that the Klei HaKodesh in the Beis Hamikdash, in the Mishkan, especially when they travel, were always covered. It has nothing to do to beauty. It's a covering. And the paroiches is symbolic to the cover on the Klei HaKodesh. In Shailas Teshuvah's Trumas Hadeshen, he gives another reason why you should have a paroiches. It says it's a sign of tznius. As great as the Aron Kodesh and beautiful that the Aron Kodesh may look, but there's an inyan of tznius for modesty, obviously in that level of kedusha, that we cover it with a paroiches. Another reason is brought, a very interesting reason is brought in Yishayos Teshuvos Yechav Das, that because you have to understand the Sefer Torah is holy of holy. The Aron Kodesh is a tashmish shel kedusha. It's too close to holiness. In other words, if you're going to have the Aron Kodesh so open, and people are going to start hanging notes, and people are going to start doing things next to it, you're starting up with a tashmish shel kedusha. So therefore, you put a paroiches in front of it, so in case anything, any usage or a misusage, It shouldn't be chas v'sholom with the Aron Kodesh itself. It should be on the pareiches, so it should separate the Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Sefer Torah, and the Aron Kodesh from the Kodesh.